Hey everyone, Dr. Clark here. I want to talk to you about the number 6 most dangerous food if you are gluten sensitive or been diagnosed with celiac disease. And the number 6 most dangerous food is rice. I know that's a big blow to a lot of you. That's a kind of a bummer because rice is such a big deal for most people that are on a gluten-free diet. But recent information published in January and also presented at a conference that I was at in October shows us pretty much without a doubt, I mean really, rice is a problem for people that have gluten sensitivity. And the problem is not that rice contains gluten. The problem is that rice contains a protein that cross-reacts with gluten antibodies. So let me explain that cross-reaction process to you in case you don't know about it. Cross-reaction occurs when the antibodies for one thing can attach to another thing and bind to them and create a response to that thing. So in the context of gluten sensitivity, it works like this. If you've been diagnosed as gluten sensitive or you've been tested for celiac disease and it came out positive or whatever, or you think you have a gluten sensitivity problem, you make antibodies to gluten. And antibodies are like little flashing adhesive strobe lights that are designed to attach onto gluten so that your immune system can find it and kill it. Okay? In cross-reaction, and let's say that this is the rice protein, okay? Actually, let's say that this is the gluten protein, and this is the rice protein. Well, those are pretty similar, right? I mean, those are very close. The antibodies for gluten can mistakenly attach onto the rice protein, and now you attack that. So even though you're eating gluten-free, to your immune system, you're not. You're basically still eating gluten. And you still get an immune system response, an inflammatory response that you would have got if you just kept on eating gluten. So we see this a lot in people that go from eating a gluten diet into eating a gluten-free diet. Now, why do people do this? Well, they go on a gluten-free diet because of a couple different reasons. Number one, it's a lot of people see it as a kind of a, it's a healthy thing to do. There's a lot of people that are doing it these days, a lot of books on it, wheat belly and wheat brain and all kinds of other things. Or they may have been diagnosed with an autoimmune condition like Hashimoto's or type 1 diabetes or rheumatoid arthritis, or their kid's autistic, and they go on the gluten-free diet, and then maybe things get a little bit better, but it's not really the miracle that they were expecting or hoping. And the problem is maybe because they're eating these cross-reactive foods. Now, rice is number 6. The biggest cross-reactor, the most dangerous one, is milk. Number 2 is yeast. Number 3 is corn, number 4 is oats, number 5 is millet, and number 6 is rice. This study that was published in January shows, and you should get the paper, you really should read it, it's a fantastic paper, that rice, there's a protein in rice, and they're not entirely sure what it is, but it's a 16 kilodalton protein. Did I get that number right? 16? I believe it's a 16 kilodalton protein that cross-reacts with gluten antibodies. And to be fair, or to be muddy, I'm not sure which, they didn't really clarify in the study what kind of rice they were talking about. They just went and bought some at the supermarket. So I'm assuming it's white rice. Maybe I'm assuming brown rice and white rice wouldn't make any difference because they're really the same thing. I don't think wild rice is the same thing, but who knows? I mean, I'm sure some of you guys have some information to tell me about that. But the point is, rice as you know it, as it occurs in these gluten-free processed foods, the breads, the cupcakes, the cookies, the tortillas, the pizza crusts, that they've got rice in them, that's a potential for cross-reaction. And so you may not be getting the full benefit of a gluten-free diet. This rice situation has been known for quite a while, but this Vojdani paper was the first one to really take it to the next level of scrutiny and look at it several different ways. I don't want to get into all the technicalities of it, but basically every way they looked at it, rice is a significant problem for people that have gluten antibodies. Those gluten antibodies can bind to the rice, and then you've got a problem with rice. So what do you do with this information, right? I mean, I'm kind of maybe ruining your day telling you can't have that rice. Well, to be fair, just because in a lab setting, and we know that it does cross-react and can cross-react, it doesn't mean that it is cross-reacting 100% of the time in every person you see. But just to let you know, I mean, there's very few people I've seen in my practice that really could eat rice safely. To be the safest, they had to stay away from it. And you need to be working with someone that can help you through that process to determine, am I cross-reactive to rice? What do I do if I'm cross-reactive to rice? I mean, that's kind of a process you have to follow. So don't try to do it on your own. work with someone that understands what I just talked to you about, that rice and those other things are cross-reactive foods that can help you kind of navigate your way through, because it's too complex to do on your own. But hopefully this video series has helped you out, and at least now you know that it's a danger, and to be safe, you probably just should be avoiding these cross-reactive foods, and rice is number 6.